God, that was so annoying. Sorry about that. That was weird. Because every time I boot up the... Okay. So, welcome to GekTalk. I'm going to have a little bit of a rant here because I was just dealing with my resolution. Every time I boot up my game, it does not save my resolution. So, recording this game for me is impossible. But anyway, we're good now.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had a lot of problem with it.
That must be nice.
I did. Actually, after Worlds Part 2, it did go wacko, and I had to go and reset all my, all my settings for graphics.
That's different, though, right? Like, they did do graphical updates, so that only makes sense.
Yes.
And that was a broadened thing, but I'm not hearing anyone complaining about resolution. I'm having issues with the actual genuine screen size. As you know, I do play in letterbox, which means there's a border around it. Because of just how my recording software is formatted, that is the best one. However, every time I boot up this game, it's always in a different shape. And it's never to my recording software's needed values. So I'm always custom adjusting this, and it's just I don't really, thank God I'm not an actual like authentic content creator for No Man's Sky, and this has not happened to Granny, because like trust me, I think she'd be throwing her computer out the window.
It only happens to me in EverQuest.
No, but you got that fixed, and it was and it did because of the client change though that time, and the original was more trying to figure out what happened, but once you got adjusted, it stayed.
It's definitely so it just keeps every time, like it doesn't hold.
It literally does not save the changes. I can't figure out why. It does it with soon as I adjust it each game load. But as soon as I drop the client at all, it just goes to a random resolution. Sometimes it's so big that I have to keep panning the game over to find it. So
if anyone else has that, let us know in the comments.
Oh, please.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, this game hasn't worked since Worlds Part 1 for me.
Well, it intermittently. But for you, it's been harder, hasn't it?
Oh, God, it's been awful. It's been an adventure.
Oh,
that could make its own GekTalk, or just nothing but Gek rant at that point. But anyway, Granny, so what are we going to be discussing today?
So, well, we've got some news, and that is, of course, we've got the new base parts. I'll just zoom out, and wow, awesome.
We're in Skyrim.
Really like it.
A bubbly Skyrim.
Really like it. So, yeah. And what a beautiful planet to have this on.
Oh, yeah,
Amazing.
Absolutely.
So, I'm very, very, keen on these base parts. It took me a little while to build this because I had to, work out the best way to use them. And they put together slightly differently to, they're interesting. They're not snap parts, but they almost work like free placement, but different again to free placement.
Do you feel it's a better system than free placement, or do you feel free placement was probably a better method, but that's just what you had to work with? What do you feel?
Both got their pluses and minuses. You can use, as you can see there, you can use the wide toggle mode and build with them, which is how I did that sort of, I guess it's like a kaleidoscope down there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, for your methods,
Yeah, so yeah, I really, really like them. And they look lovely at night. So there's that big news. The other news is that I cracked it. I finally got over 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, yeah, that is... Oh, God, that was amazing. And I've been there... Well, maybe not at the very get-go, because, I met you, way later, I think.
I think I had about 250 when we met, and when you joined my Discord.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been... I know you said
Yeah.
like after you crack 100, it makes it easier or something like that. Well, I mean, we could figure out the date almost with your EverQuest character. Funny enough, is like we met
Well,
and
it doesn't.
then we tried different games together just to see, and then I think that character's very close to when we started actually becoming friends, like genuinely. But I can't
Yeah,
remember the
yeah.
actual milestone number. That's the only problem I'm having right now. Like I can't.
I can't remember, but you know, I mean, it
Well,
was a
we'll
while
say
ago.
two, at least more than two, but we don't know if it's three. It could have been
It's
three.
taken a while, you know, and I didn't start the channel to become a popular YouTuber. I started it because I was tutoring some kids with maths, and they got into No Man's Sky. And the reason I got them, I suggested it to them, was because they were having trouble sleeping, and some of them had anxiety, and so I asked them what they were playing. They were playing a lot of shoot 'em up games, and I said, "Yeah, I like those games in moderation, but they get a bit old, you know."
Yeah.
And I said, "There's a really great game that's really creative and interesting. It's called No Man's Sky," and they gave it a go, and a lot of them said that they were sleeping better and not feeling as anxious, and they got quite hooked. But then they asked me all these questions about how to do this and how to do that. So I made the videos for them because I didn't have time to explain to them when we were meant to be working, you know, how to do things. So that's why I started the channel. And yeah, I didn't expect to get a lot of subscribers, and my interest in it just grew from there, you know. And then I was inspired by Zoo, who has unfortunately passed away since then, but his videos were amazing, and he inspired me to want to start a community, you know. And so there you go. That's what happened. It's just like a natural kind of progression. You know, I'm
As
not a
it should be.
fantastic, yeah, I'm not a great gamer. I don't know everything. I don't think anyone knows everything about this game, because I keep finding new
I know
things.
there's space in it.
3,000 hours of playing it, and I still have things I haven't done yet. Ridiculous. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
when I met her, she was mostly in the building scene because that's what her channel is mostly about. Obviously, like you just said, I remember dragging her to the void. That poor woman. That poor woman.
Before you met me, I was really into ship hunting and multi-tool hunting, though. I love that too. But once I got building, you know, and making videos and editing them, I didn't really have time for actual authentic ship hunting. I don't mean finding them on Reddit. I mean, there's a whole process to ship hunting, and it's a real interesting thing to do.
Yeah, she knows how to do all that. I have to admit, I used Reddit.
I've forgotten
Well,
most of it
actually,
now.
no, not my Sentinel ship, okay? When they were implemented, like, I guess the patch or whatever update or what it is, more or less, once the Sentinel ships were a thing, of course, I didn't know about that. I just so happened to be battling a freighter because I'm naughty like that. Blew up a perfectly good freighter, and then I got some kind of AI thing, and I was like, oh, okay, this must be a rare drop. Hit the E button because I don't read patch notes. And then whatever was the nearest ship, I landed and it was a space tank. I was happy. That was the extent of my ship adventures. The end. Pretty cool, huh?
Oh, well, we all play this game differently.
Oh yeah, Granny
And
really gets into it. I just surface walk everything. It's amazing.
yeah, and I've got to say, you know, like another thing I will talk about is this is sort of a discussion-y thing, not news, but you know, I think if you don't like duping in the game, that's really fine. I've got saves where I don't use any duping and stuff because I like to explore all aspects of this game. And to me, the exploits in the game are really fun to explore. you know,
Well, that's
and
because the devs allow it. You know what I mean? Like
that's right.
they're not saying, "Hey, we don't want this." Now, a lot of other games, it would actually destroy it. This one, it is fair game, genuinely. So, like, it depends on the game, but in this one, yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean? Because like
It's
they're
like,
okay with it, so I'm okay with it.
yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, I've got saves that have varying degrees of exploits, you know, but it's really fun actually to do. And if you're not, you know, if you're kind of only playing it vanilla on one save, it's sort of, you miss out on a lot of that, you know, you really do. But everyone to their own, and that's the beauty of this game. So many ways to play it, you know. It's really
Well, that's the
interesting
sandbox
that
part
way.
of it, you know. So
Yeah, yeah. So what other news have we got? Oh, I know what we did this morning, Zeno. We played, well, we didn't play with Professor Cynical, but we were a part of a panel, weren't we?
yeah, it's like a GekTalk, but his variant of it. I mean, it was a cynical talk, right? Like, it was awesome. Like that was so energized. I loved it. Everyone was super chill. Of course, it was mostly between Good Guys Free and a guild mesh. Because it was actually really funny, because we actually had a couple non-No Man's Skyers in that thing, and it was given like real answers. You know what I mean? It's not just you know, people who's like centric about the game. It's also people outside the game that was looking in and doing, you know, like they were partaking in it. It was really good. I liked it
Because we were judging the space boots, weren't we? We were looking at all the boots and
yep.
giving
That's
our
why it was
opinions
hilarious.
on them.
I was like totally in for that. I was like, yep, we're doing this. This is
Oh,
amazing.
and the different feet and the flippers, and it was so much fun. So I might do a little short thing on that, and pardon me, and say, hey, go and have a look at it on Professor Cynical's channel. I guess one other piece of news that I can think of, and that is I'm changing my, you know, I've got Granny's Chinwag. I'm changing the name of it to GekTalk, right? It's very hard to say.
It is.
And
That's why I called GekTalk, because it, as much as I want the dork in there, I just can't roll off my tongue very easily.
I'm doing it because you inspired me.
To be a dork, yes.
Yeah, I said, how did it come about? We're Geks. That's what you said. And I said, I think we're dorks.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe you said dorks.
I said, yeah. I was like, you're like, we're Geks. I'm like, yeah, because we're a bunch of dorks. That's just what we do.
That's right.
It's the only way to be a Gek. You can't be a Gek without the dorkness.
And it rhymes with talk. So I think, yay, that's a great name for a segment. And so I thought that I like it better than Granny's Chinwag. So, yeah, that I'm going to kind of change the name of this segment to that. It will be under that name in the playlist. So, anyway, let's see. Have you got any news, Zeno?
I got since you guys already know about my base, like my corrupted file, I finally got that base placed. It's not on Vanera, sadly. I tried different locations for it and just wouldn't place right. Because it's almost impossible to get your base computer to actually be perfectly aligned and also facing the correct direction to put it down. So I kept kind of traveling around, and I finally found... the weird part was I wasn't even going to land there, but I seen like this personal interest kind of thing. I landed there, and then I started kind of running around, and all of a sudden, bam, it looked almost identical to the spot I would have had for Vanera. Now, I did have to fix one building to adjust to the spot, but I'd rather fix just one building than the entire plot. And it was almost perfect fit, and I just said, screw it. It wasn't the cool wheel that I used to have, and there is actually cool wheels on that planet, but however, the ones I investigated didn't have the right land cut that I needed.
Oh,
so I used, okay, there's these eggs. They're dangerous. So if someone does come to my base and shoot them, yes, we're gonna have Daisy Butterfields all over the darn place. But that's okay. Which are those weird? What do you call those things? What are they actually authentically called?
Whispering eggs.
Whispering eggs. Thank you. Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
I call them Butterfields because I'm stupid, but that's okay.
Oh, monstrosities.
Yeah, those things. So those pop out the ground if you shoot them. But like anyone who visits my base. They don't care.
Feel free.
And if they do, then I just jump on the roof and go, hey, you're funny. You know. I mean, they can spat at me, but that's about it. But it's beautiful there. You're
actually talking about moving a base from one save into another.
Well, that's because my original base was corrupted, and was it corrupted? It was like layers upon layers of the same wall repeated over and over, and I never placed them like that. It just was that bad off. You know what I mean? There is
trials and tribulations with it.
Oh, God.
After we finish this, might nip down and I can, I moved a armature for a globe base to here. And I've got a video on doing that. I just realised I've also got a video on that. And that was okay because it was... above the ground, but I still had a few issues getting it in the right spot, and the right height. So, it worked out in the end,
yeah,
though.
you know all about that too, because like, I had to. The corruption of my save is what taught us to be able to move bases like that, or at least for us specifically. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that's probably like, oh, well, you could have just done this or with this program, but see, when you're panicking to get all your stuff off of a save that's corrupted, you're not going to sit there and do a lot of research, okay? Because you don't have time to do that type of research. So for us, we had to kind of trial and error a lot. And I do have a video on how to do it, although there's some comical results, so.
Yeah, you gave me all your ship parts.
Yeah, I had to give you all my 42 galaxies, I think was the grand total, because it was a 4-year-old save. Come on, of course I'm going to go out and explore, especially after I finally escaped Odia Lutai. Everyone wants to come here, but I'm the one that wants to get the hell out. You see, that's the difference here. So everyone's like, oh man, I want Odia Lutai. I'm sitting there like shaking my head. Like, it took me 2 years to escape that place. And arguably, if I would have been more educated then than I know now, I probably did escape it. I just didn't know it because there was those weekend missions and the missions for the Nexus that probably did summon me possibly to the Nexus. I mean, to the Euclid, but I had no clue. No clue.
I think they happen. I don't know.
I never landed on a space station because I never seen the offer of going Euclid. You get what I mean?
Oh.
I never did. So I got summoned there. I landed on said planets possibly and did probably a few of those missions maybe with people. I don't know. But I didn't actually have a Wonders record back then. I wouldn't have known. And, you know what I mean? I had no clue that I might have actually shifted out at some point. And as far as I was concerned, I really was stuck in Odia Lutai because I started there. And you know, it's just how it is. So when I was out, I was like, yeah, freedom. By the way, answer yes at the very end of the thing. If you've never done the story, answer yes, you want to leave. Restart it, please. You know, not to give off too much at the end, but please say answer yes, don't say no. I said no, that was my problem.
Dearie me. Have you had any questions from anyone, Zeno?
No? If I have any cool eggs.
Oh, the eggs. Yes.
I went
the
insane.
Egg lady.
For 2 years on Reddit, I've been asked, hey, do you have said... Which I don't mind doing, but you know how many requests? There was one day I had 24 requests, Granny. It was insane.
You probably get more now that we've mentioned it.
Granny, why are you like this now? Okay, by the way, they're all dead. Shh, don't tell them that they're actually alive, okay? Shh, it's okay, it's okay. No one knows.
Oh dear. Well,
no one has to know the secret.
I've had a couple of questions this week. And,
shoot.
And I thought I'd go through them on here. I had a question. Someone was asking me about how do you copy the multi-tool in the expedition
I sense a conspicuous jump cut coming up
at the
really soon.
anomaly. No, I'm just going to. I'll link. I made a video on it because
okay. I was gonna say
yeah,
conspicuous jump cut. Is it, Grady?
no. What happened is I did make a video on copying the multi-tool and ship, right? But that video was sort of partway through the game when I went back to the anomaly and the options were there, right? So the thing is that the terminus changes throughout the expedition. So when you first go there, you know, you'll see that the option isn't there. So I've made a new video and I'll link it in the description box, Expedition Terminus in Context, because in it, I start right at the beginning. I'm using footage from my Titan expedition and I've cut a lot of, you know, all of it out, the expedition part of it out, basically. But I've put in there, you know, from the first encounter at the, well, no, it was actually the second encounter because I went and stocked it all up with stuff I wanted to take, and that's not in there. But from beginning the expedition right through to claiming everything is in there, and it is kind of complicated. I wasn't really thinking about it that much during the expedition. But when I
you
went
just kind of went to the moves, you know what I mean? Like, just went to the movements, that's about it. And then it also, like, when it was asked. Now, for me, like, I just hit yes pretty much everything, because you know that you're going to have to go through the process anyway.
Oops.
But she's like, oh, you gotta go visit the original expedition point, because you're summoned on the planet from the anomaly, I guess? Or the Nexus. Okay, we have arguments about that one, too. But that's okay.
You start yours as a new save.
Well, I do, yeah, but I'm talking about when I watched it from your perspective. You were on the Nexus, or the anomaly, then all of a sudden when you hit that yes button, you got summoned to the expedition point, like at the very beginning of it, like I did.
Yes.
And then after I think phase 2, which you could revisit the anomaly, is when you can finally do the process she's going to explain here in a second.
That's right. I'm not going to explain it here. It's in the video. So, I was just letting people know that has been a question that I've had a couple of times, and I've made a video, and it's in context of following an expedition through to the end and the things that happen at the terminus. So I hope it's helpful because it is a little bit confusing. But the other thing is that I have started new expeditions in the older way of doing it, you know, without that option of the terminus. And I've also done them at the terminus. And to be honest, I don't think it's much harder starting it new.
No, not at all. That, and I feel a lot safer because my save being so screwed so many times.
Yeah, I've never had any problems with it ever. But you know, honestly, by the time you can get all your stuff out of the out of the Nexus, which is what we call the anomaly for some weird interesting reason, but by the time we get all of our stuff, you know, we've already got a lot of resources. And I mean, it's handy, I guess, with expansion units, and there's a few things that help you out if you want to use them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like buried data. What's it called?
Salvage data?
Salvage data, yeah. That, yeah. Then make a nonite farm with that. So there are things you can take in that are helpful, but it's not a lot harder not having that feature. So I guess the main thing is if you want to do all your expeditions on one save, then that's pretty cool, you know. Yeah. But you could run out of ship space after a few, couldn't you?
Well, they've actually added slots for that now.
There's 12, but you know, I mean, 12. I mean, I have real problems with it because I wish that they would make a hangar, like you could build a hangar on your base and put all your excess ships in there and carry 12 around with you. And I wish that they would make a
No, I
toolbox.
swear to God, they actually did make that bigger, but I could be wrong.
They made it bigger in the in your freighter, but it doesn't mean you can have extra ones. You can't park them there. You know, you can't park 12 in there or 6 in there. I can't remember how many you can park in there. I think it's 8 or 9. I don't know. But anyway, you can't park them in there and then go and get another 12 in your inventory because it's only that 12, right? So what I mean is a hangar, you can have it at any base, like an extra building or a thing. And then
I thought
you
Kel
can...
sent me a tell about having extra slots available now for ships. So let me go double check. Maybe I'm insane.
Originally you could have 8 and now you can have 12. So that's true. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
true.
was going insane. I was like, yeah.
But besides the amount that you can have in your inventory and on your freighter, I'm thinking, imagine having a freighter hangar, you know, at your base on the ground. You could build a really nice aerospace base. That'd be nice. And have a hangar. And you can put excess ships in there that you're not using at the moment, like your exotics and things,
yeah,
you know, the ones you don't want to get rid of, you know, and then you can collect them. It would be awesome without having to throw them out. And then you could exchange them into your inventory of 12 ships if you want to.
Yeah.
And same with multi-tools. You could have a tool rack or a toolbox where you could put excess multi-tools, because I've got loads of multi-tools that I've had to get rid of. And sometimes I've really regretted it, you know, like I had a whole collection of...
Well, what they could also do is, like, if they feel like there's too many inventory slots they can't implement for some odd reason, why not, like, make it into a Wonders catalog? Like, you've discovered that particular design, and then, like, you could turn it into a holographic display on your cursor, and then when you place it on the wall, it fully materializes as that gun. So, like, if they don't want to put it as a slot, maybe you could put it as a trophy display kind of model.
Yeah, but not as a slot. I'm not saying extra slots in the inventory, but like a toolbox that you can just put them into, and then you can take them out and use them and swap them for ones in your inventory if you want to.
Johnny, that would be a good one.
But that idea is good too, what you just said, you know, but then would you be able to use those multi-tools if you wanted to, if they were...
Well, not if you turn them into a display. Once they dissolve into a Wonders... I guess you could pre-learn it because you've already had it at one time, so it kind of does save the model, right? Like, you unlocked it. So it would show up. So I guess you could technically display a... you know, like almost like a replica or a print of your current gun on, or stave, or whatever the hell it's going to be. Super awesome blade from, I don't know, from the void, and then put it on there, you know.
Another alternative is having a ship and multi-tool discovery in the Wonders catalogue. Like, like you were saying, kind of. That'd be cool too.
That's right. I mean, just a display of it. It doesn't have to be necessarily a gun that can be used again or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that might be a lot to keep, like, track of.
Yeah.
Now, but since already, like, the model already exists, You could just have
I
the
get,
graphic displayed up there, but you can't rip it off the wall or something.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
'Cause
get
that
all
might be a lot.
nostalgic. I get all nostalgic for some of my old Alien multi-tools, and I want them back. And I forgot where I
Yeah.
got them from.
Well, I
So
have a stick.
it's not thinking.
I have a.
Yeah, they're okay. I like Alien multi-tools. I
Well, no,
like
I'm
all
just
the,
saying for me. You know me. I just
yeah.
skim on the edges. I go, okay. Do I have gun? Yep. Okay, it's done. Do I have ship? Yep. Okay, I could leave the atmosphere. Do I have a base? Yeah, I have that. That's okay. I'm good. Yeah.
I like all the multi-tools, I guess. I
Yeah, I
think
mean, they all look cool looking, but do I
yeah,
go out of my way to collect them? No, I don't. No.
the runic ones are good, and I haven't used one of those in ages. You know, I've got my super powered gun, which is totally naughty. You know, that's a Sentinel one.
Well, that's
And
on you, Gertie. I just leave. I just use whatever's in the game. And some people
Yeah.
get obsessed with those weird power boxes or whatever they're called, or soup supply box. I don't know. It's some kind of like super slot that's in your ship or your gun, and it's like this
all of those, the
purplish
super
color.
slots.
Oh, okay. But anyway, they'll get it. They'll say, "Oh, I want it to look like this. I want it to be a T shape or a grid. I want it to be a box." I'm like, I
Oh,
want
look,
just.
I just fill the whole lot out in the game file.
Well, you do,
On
but see,
one.
all I do is say, okay, did I get a ship? Yep. Is it a C-class? Okay, I'll upgrade it, the thing, fly around. Yay, I can shoot things. You know, I don't care about min-maxing. I really don't.
I've only got it for fun on you know, a couple of my weapons.
Yeah.
You know, I don't normally play with that. It was just like, I wonder what would happen if I do this. Will I break the game? And I didn't. It was really fun.
But yeah,
anyway,
I break the game for having one multi-tool, one ship, one base.
So another question I was asked was, does the motion sensor door still work? And this was because I've got a video called How to Lock Your oh my God, How to Lock Your Motion Sensor Doors. Now, I haven't tested it out, to be honest. I've been meaning to all week, but I haven't gotten around to it.
When you just pull the plug, that shouldn't open the door. How to lock your door? Pull the plug. The end.
No.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, shit. I guess not. I don't know.
So, but you were telling me, Zeno, that there's a guild member that built that recently and it was fine.
Yeah. Well, Snatchy was a redstone engineer from Minecraft. Told a person from No Man's Sky because they're absolutely, almost inexplicably identical. So, Snatchy was able to help with X. No, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm sorry, X. But X Machina. It's something else. Macarena, Ocarina of Time. I don't know, okay? Just one of those pronunciations, and he's probably gonna come in here and be like, Zenobia, how dare you? That's okay. But he was the one who made the door recently. And
it worked.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to test it for me and let me know, because I had loads of comments when I put that video up. Thank you. This is so awesome. I've got it, finally got it working, you know. And so I didn't think there was a problem with the way I did it. And I've used it heaps of times, you know, so it obviously works for me. So if you know, it's just that something recent may have changed. So if someone wants to volunteer to follow that video, I'll link it in the description box. That'd be really awesome, and let me know if they got it working. So I'll be really happy. And the other question was, does the scale glitch still work? And I made a video.
I was live for. Yeah, you. It was funny. I mean, don't get me wrong. She definitely was not happy with kind of the slightly adjusted results because it's all about timing, and I can get where the frustration. Trust me, I have an entire video, nothing about me trying to place it down then. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, she was like, oh, it's really easy, and I'm watching her just finessely put it down, and I'm still struggling on the first panel. Yeah, that took a while.
Well, you know that I could do it, just bam. But
yeah. Oh yeah,
when,
absolutely you could. Go
yeah,
with finesse.
and we did
backflips.
we did try to make
Yeah.
that video multiplayer, but I forgot to record it, so I had to go back and redo it on my own. But
Oh, okay.
remember? So but even when I went back and I'd practiced a bit trying to do it with you, it was still not as easy as what it was before, and I absolutely think
It's still
that the
doable,
timing,
just not. Yeah, it's timing. Trust me, it's timing.
well, by the end of the video, by the end of that, I was able to do it pretty good. I think the timing has changed slightly, and
It's enough to throw you
but
off, though. So, like, if you were used
it
to the
is,
old technique, it's going to
yes,
still catch
because
you off guard. That's for sure.
you put it into your muscle memory,
Yep,
and you
I was gonna
just
say.
can do it. Once you've got it, you can do it automatically, and then when it changes, it's like really weird. It was really hard. So
Muscle memory will get you, because, oh
yeah,
god, like, there's things I cannot remember, but my muscle memory will trigger off. But it
it
also depends
does.
on the game. And so if I play Ultima Online, that's from 1997, I'm still muscle memorying through the keys, but I don't know why I'm hitting them. You know what I mean? Like, it's really,
I know.
it's like
It's
almost
like
like a phantom. Yeah.
changing gears in a car, isn't it? So
Mm-hmm.
that is the answer to that. Yes, the scale glitch still works, but it's a bit different. And I can't even say how different it is. It's so minutely different, but it does interfere with you for
Yeah,
a
if you
little
already
bit
have that
when you
muscle
first
memory
start.
or used to the old technique in some way, yeah, it's going to throw you off. You can do it. It has been proven by the granny. She has a video on it.
I have.
Round 2, but it still worked.
It's a good video, actually. It's not just about that. It's also about how you can wire up huge, scaled up base parts. Like I did a huge solar
Well, I
panel,
thought you got a
and
question on that, didn't you? Or did you not?
no, I didn't. I just
Oh,
tried it
okay.
out. I
Okay.
wanted to see if I could still do it. And actually, that has changed as well.
No, I thought you
Because,
said it was a comment on the teensy weensy one. Like a.
yes, that was just about whether the scale glitch still works.
Well, that's what I
It
mean.
wasn't
That's still about the scale
yeah,
glitch, whether if it's large or small at this point.
yeah.
So.
But it's the wiring up part is separate.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, if it doesn't have the big scaled up, say the solar panel doesn't have a connection point. Whereas if you shrink it down, it still has a connection point. So you can still wire up little things the same way, but big things you can't. So you've got to connect it to the electricity by tricking it, you see. And the tricks that I used to have didn't work anymore. So I found a new trick, and that is also in that video of, the scale glitch video. So I'll put that in the box as well. And what else is it? I think that's it, isn't it? The questions, motion sensing doors, yep.
Yeah, I
Scale
think you got
glitch,
everything.
yep, and we talked about the news, and yep,
I think we're wrapped up, honestly.
There was something else I was going to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, have you got anything else to say, Zena?
I just want to say thank you to Good Guys Free, Professor Cynical, Captain Steve, everybody out there who watches too. Like, come on, for all the support and love, and it's been wonderful.
A great community, isn't it?
They're a great community, but talk more, guys. Please, we'd love to hear from you. Please speak.
Yeah,
I'm an EverQuester, and I've noticed that most of you don't want to talk and converse. We actually want to hear from you, genuinely. Like, don't be afraid to talk. Some of you actually did reach out to Granny about questions, sure, but I mean, we want to hear about your adventures. Tell us things, even if it's not related to the video. Just tell us things. We'd like to hear from you, like genuinely.
I'll put my Discord link in there as well, maybe. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
If anyone loves the game and wants to, do multiplayer stuff sometimes, then my Discord is, that's what I intended to do in the beginning, but there's only a handful of us that actually really interact. So we're meant to be a community hub. Ramblers 256, our hub is in the 256 galaxy, Odiolutai. And, the idea was we were going to have community events and things, but it's sort of gone a bit lame, hasn't it, Zeno? It's just
that we can't get them to interact. That's the thing. I'm just saying this from an outside perspective, okay, guys? I play No Man's Sky, but I'm not in a native, other than Odiolutai, but that's a little bit different. I'm just playing the game, okay? So I'm not a content creator directed by this game, okay? I am heart, soul, and mind embodiment of the Noravian EverQuest person. And we were highly social. We had over 200 people in stacks of guild raids, okay? We're taking down the deities of the game. We're taking down dragons. And then I come here and it's just radio silence. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Everyone's super nice, though. When you, cross them in the Nexus and such, or the Anomaly, they'll give you stuff. They'll help you out. They're actually, you can tell that they're nice. Except for maybe, of course, but every community has those bad apples, but that's fine. But it's just, I don't know why that I go into so many No Man's Sky related channels and they're all quiet and dead.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with any of the people. That's the thing. It's just they don't want to talk. But see, I want you to be able to speak, guys. Talk. It's awesome.
One of the problems, I think, is the problems that has carried on with multiplayer over the years, because, I mean, I can remember in the olden days, let me think, it's Ricey, Starship Emporium and Captain Steve and all of those guys, they used to get together 8 of them in some old videos I've seen.
I'm sure they were sitting outside the groups. I don't think the group lobby itself has ever expanded. I think you just could see other players. And that really hasn't changed much there. Now, the connectivity has been more and more unstable, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, just in general, Discords, you figure that'd be, reaching out more than they are. That's what I've been noticing. It's a disconnect. I don't know what it is. But guys, seriously, this is the time. Speak. We want to hear from you. Tell us the stories, where you're from, games you enjoy. I don't care. Just tell me. Talk to us.